On the crisp autumn morning of October 11, 2025, the world of international politics received a jolt. The Norwegian Nobel Committee, in a decision broadcast globally from Oslo, announced the recipient of the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize was María Corina Machado. The official declaration cited her unwavering and courageous struggle for democracy and fundamental human rights in Venezuela. This announcement immediately sent shockwaves across diplomatic circles and media landscapes, transforming the long-standing Venezuelan crisis from a regional concern into a headline-grabbing global event. The news was both a validation for her supporters and a source of intense debate for her detractors, instantly framing the coming months of political discourse. The selection of Machado was not widely predicted, making the moment it was announced all the more dramatic. Many analysts and Nobel watchers had focused their speculations on other candidates, global conflicts, humanitarian efforts. Consequently, when the committee's chairperson uttered her name, it caught many by surprise. The decision was immediately interpreted as a powerful political statement aimed directly at the government of Nicolás Maduro. It signaled that the international community, or at least this highly influential part of it, was not only watching the situation in Venezuela, but was also prepared to elevate and honor one of its most prominent opposition figures on the world's most prestigious stage. So, who exactly is María Corina Machado? To understand the significance of her Nobel win, one must first understand her long and often controversial history as a public figure in Venezuela. Known to many as the Iron Lady for her uncompromising stance against the ruling Socialist Party, Machado is a former industrial engineer who entered the political arena in the early 2000s. She first gained prominence as a co-founder of Sumate, a civil society organization that advocated for electoral transparency and led a recall referendum effort against former President Hugo Chavez. Her political career evolved from civil activism to holding elected office. In 2011, she was elected as a deputy to the National Assembly, where she became one of the most vocal critics of the Chavez administration, and later the Maduro administration. Her speeches were often fiery, directly accusing the government of corruption, human rights abuses, and the systematic dismantling of democratic institutions. This outspokenness earned her both fervent admirers and powerful enemies. Her supporters view her as a principled and fearless champion of freedom, someone who has refused to compromise or be silenced even in the face of immense pressure and personal risk. The Norwegian Nobel Committee's decision to award the Peace Prize to María Corina Machado came with a detailed explanation that underscored the principles behind their choice. In their official statement, the committee emphasized the prize was for her consistent, courageous fight for democracy, for free and fair elections in Venezuela. They highlighted her role as a symbol of the millions of Venezuelans who yearn for a peaceful resolution to a long-standing political crisis. The committee framed the award as a tribute to the power of nonviolent opposition to the importance of upholding democratic norms at a time those norms are under global threat. A key theme was persistence in the face of overwhelming adversity. The announcement of Machado's Nobel Prize victory immediately triggered a cascade of reactions from around the globe, creating a starkly divided chorus of praise and condemnation. Numerous world leaders were quick to issue statements of congratulations: the United States, European nations. They lauded the committee's decision as a courageous endorsement of democratic values. The award validated these governments' long-held criticisms of the Maduro regime. It also gave renewed impetus to policies supporting Venezuela's opposition. Human rights organizations celebrated the news: Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch. Inside Venezuela, reactions were polarized and emotionally charged. Opponents of the regime received the news with joy and renewed hope. Crowds celebrating in the streets. Supporters flooded social media with messages of celebration. Conversely, the Venezuelan government responded with swift condemnation. That narrative framed the honor as a provocation, not a prize for peace. Beyond the grand political implications, the Nobel Prize has intensely personal and immediate consequences for María Corina Machado herself. A significant part of the unfolding story revolves around her current living situation and her physical safety. According to reports from international news agencies like Al Jazeera, Machado has been living in hiding for some time because of credible threats to her safety. For years, she has navigated a perilous existence, balancing a public role as an opposition leader with the constant need for tight security. The award is a double-edged sword for her security. On one hand, global prestige as a Nobel laureate can act as a layer of protection. The international community would react with outrage to any harm, creating a political disincentive for direct government action. That Nobel shield could give her more freedom to speak and operate. On the other hand, the prize elevates her as the key symbol of opposition, which could provoke hardline elements or paramilitary supporters to act. A controversial layer arrived with a Daily Caller report claiming she dedicated her Nobel Prize to President Donald Trump. That reported dedication, whether strategic or misread, ignited a huge debate. The awarding of the Nobel Peace Prize to María Corina Machado is not merely a symbolic gesture, it could tangibly alter politics inside and outside Venezuela. Immediate effect: a big boost for the Venezuelan opposition. Years of setbacks, internal divisions, and public fatigue. This recognition could act as a morale booster. It may unify disparate opposition factions around Machado, giving them renewed purpose and international legitimacy. Prize money could fund pro-democracy initiatives. The international spotlight puts immense pressure on Nicolás Maduro. Any move to crack down on the opposition, suppress protests, or target Machado would trigger swift international condemnation. In the final analysis, María Corina Machado's Nobel Peace Prize is a watershed moment for Venezuela. It is far more than a personal honor. It is a powerful political tool thrust into the heart of one of the world's most intractable crises. The award fundamentally changes the narrative, elevating a domestic struggle for democracy into a global referendum on authoritarianism. Its true importance lies not in the prestige it confers, but in its potential to act as a catalyst. Yet, this moment is fraught with both promise and peril. What do you believe the impact of this Nobel Peace Prize will be? To stay informed on this and other important global stories, please like this content, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your network. Thank you for watching New News.